Hello makeshifters, today we're making a simple brown and black jig for a heavy jig weight. These are the tools I'm going to use. If you want to know how to make any of them, I leave the link in the description. The hook I have in the vise, it's 4/0 double hook. It's not welded together, it's an open one. I'm going to use sewn thread in dark red. Sewn thread is strong and thick. It's gonna give us a lot of coverage on the hook and it's gonna make the jig strong. For tail I'm going to use, this is a artificial beard that I bought during St. Patrick's Day. It came with a leprechaun hat and a wig and a beard. And I thought it looks similar to a craft fur. It has flexible lawn fibers. That's going to be suitable for our tail. I'm going to pick a clump and then snip it at the base. Then I'm going to clean it by pulling out all the shorter fibers and just keeping the long fibers. So I'm going to do a few clumps like that. And then eventually, when putting all those clumps together, I get a fluffy tail. Cut the ends, make it straight. And then attach it few mil away from where I stopped the thread, because we will need it for the head of the jig. Now we will get some crystal flash. First we need to cut the tail to size. So let's say that's the length of the hook. So there's the length of the hook, and we'll add a little bit more, and that's where we cut. And if I just put the crystal flash through the eye of the hook and then fold it over, the length of the crystal flash won't be enough to reach the end of the tail. So I'm going to bring the thread to the middle of the jig, and that way it will be enough. We fold it over, slide it under the thread, and then tie it down. For the body, we're going to use this fluffy sparkly yarn in black. I just went online shopping, typed in sparkly yarn, and a bunch of yarn come up for me, and it is similar to polar fiber. Only have about 100 meters of it for the same price. So now in your touching turns, we'll try to bind everything down and bring it to the hook eye. That's all the tying that there is to it. Now we're gonna go into the whip finish. That's one. And then we're gonna do another one, because this is a lure that's gonna get a lot of beating while I'm jigging. this sewing tying thread that I used, it's actually cotton. After I fish it the first time and the thread gets wet and then dries, it's going to shrink, creating a really tight whip finish. So I don't really need to use varnish. I'm going to varnish it anyway. Lures are ready. Let's check size and weight. On its own, the jig lure is pushing 9.5 centimeters. And together with the weight, it's pushing 13.5 centimeters. On its own, it weighs 2.1 grams. With a 30-gram jig weight, it's showing 35 grams. Bear that in mind, guys. Together with the hook, with the materials, with the split rings, and as well when it's going to get saturated with water, it's going to be heavier. So let's say if your casting weight 10 to 30 grams and you put on 30-gram jig weight, your actual whole rig might be weighing 35 grams. And that's dangerous for the rod. You might break it while casting. So bear this in mind. And the idea behind this setup, it's a jig weight. It is off center, so it's heavier on the bottom, so it's always going to go in the water this way. Then you have the two split rings. They're good for casting. When you cast, the lure going to fold up like this and fly further. But also, it's good for movement in the water. The lure will have a lot more of a range of motion in the water with the two split rings. Also a double hook, better hookups. And I made it in these colors, black and brown, because while it's moving fast in the water, all the fish is going to see thicker black body and then thinner brown tail that might look like a injured or fleeing or fighting crayfish. It might attract them, as predators love crayfish. Let's put them in the box and take them out fishing. I could put them here with the articulated streamers. Hello guys, we are out on the water again. It's the first week of January, it's the new year, and I have decided to come to the big lake again, and we're gonna try to start fishing in the place where I had quite a good success last year, in the shallows when pike were spawning. I was never clear on when pike start to spawn, so I'm gonna come here at least 2 times a month for the month of January, February, and then more often in March, just to see exactly when they do it. And I don't think it depends so much on the month of the year, but on the temperature of the water. Okay guys, change of lures. We're gonna put on our little black and brown jig and let's see what we can do with a 30 grams weight. I switched to a big floating jig, 40 gram weight. Let's see what we can do. Okay guys, walked up to a new spot, putting out a smaller floating jig on a 30 gram weight. And let's see. I'm starting to get worried now guys. I have checked few spots with no bites. Is it gonna be a first blank of the year? Okay guys, the day is coming to an end. We're going to give it last few casts with the sponge fish and see how we can end the day. Okay guys, last cast. After that, I'm going home. That's it guys, it's home time. And what a day today. It was the first blank of the year. I tried a fly, a spoon, 3 kinds of jig lures. Nothing worked. But I think it's not the lures, it's just I wasn't able to find the fish. If I could have located the fish, I could have definitely provoked them to bite. I think the fish are, at the moment, they're definitely not beside the shore, and they're in some places that I don't know or I can't reach from the shore. So I'm gonna go home, gonna take some rest, and then think for another lure for our box.